Alright, let's get out of the way. To subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment if you like. So this anime basically exposes idols for what they really are. If you haven't heard it, it's called Oshi no Ko, and it starts off with the narrator saying everything is fiction. That includes what the women are doing in this anime. This could be even said for your favorite streamers out there, to be honest. Nobody wants to work some shitty job, right? They'd rather take money from people that they know they can get it from. The main character of the story is a 22-year-old 42-year-old who really likes this idol girl who's 16 years old, and I mean, he's willing to marry her. He's followed her since she was in middle school because the band started 4 years ago, which makes her 12 years old. So this guy works as a doctor, and the reason why he started watching idols is because there's a patient that he really needed to take care of, and she really liked idols, so he just sat there watching it with her. And she wants to be like this idol girl called Ai, but most of the time when they're called Ai, I just remember it's AI, like a robot. So she wants to be reincarnated as an idol as well, but he says, you don't have to be reincarnated, you're already cute. And she says, oh my gosh, will you marry me? And he says, no, you're too young, but at 16 maybe. And in my head I'm just thinking, damn, this guy's fucking creepy. And so he has to go and take care of a patient, and you see the back of her head, and I'm thinking, I know who this is. But what I didn't guess is that she's pregnant. And I'd be surprised, but not really, if this guy next to her was her husband. And the doctor has to step outside because obviously this is a lot for him. His favorite idol's in front of him, and she's pregnant. So while he's outside, so many things are going to his head, like, I can't believe it's her, I can't believe she's pregnant. And then he starts looking inside, and the guy doesn't know who's the father, and she says, well, I'm not gonna tell. And she's not just pregnant with one kid, she has 2 kids. Clearly her stomach's really big. The fucking reason she says, I don't know what to do about this, what do you think, doctor? She just can't walk around with 2 kids because the fans won't like that, and she'll be booted off the stage and lose money. Damn, what year is this? Why does he have that iPhone? So she ends up making a decision for herself. So she's not going to get rid of the kids. She's going to have the kids, and she's going to be an idol still. And she's going to hide it from the public. Let's see how well this turns out. I feel like it's really hard to be an idol and have kids and not anyone know about it. So 40 weeks later, it's time for her to deliver a kid. And up till now, the doctor has taken care of her. And he said, I promise that this surgery will be painless and easy because she's too small to have 2 kids coming out of the cave. So before he takes the kids out of the cave, he has to go outside because he has to think about how after this he won't see Ai again, and it's really frustrating him. And while he's outside thinking about all of this, a strange guy in a hood comes and talks about how, you know Ai Hoshino? He says, how do you know her real name? He runs off, and this is nighttime, and the dumb doctor chases him. He chases him all the way to a cliff, and he disappears. He can't find him, and the guy's behind him pushes him off, and he cracks his head. And the thing he sees before he dies is his phone ringing and Ai's calling him. Obviously he said he'd promised, but he's not there. But then he starts thinking, imagine I was born as an idol's child. And it's exactly what the girl that he was taking care of was thinking before she passed away. And then we see his funeral, but his soul's not dead. He got isekai as one of Ai's kids, and I'm thinking, that is fucking gross. But it's not like he's just a kid. He actually has the mind of the adult that was 30-something years old. And being the really weird guy he is, he ends up enjoying this life because he's like, finally I get to live with the idol I've always wanted to live with. And in this world, obviously he has a twin sister. I hope it just doesn't become really weird. It's already a strange series, but this could get very out of hand. So after taking a long break, she's going back to becoming an idol, and his manager's wife is actually going to take care of the kids while she's out. And here's the craziest thing, his wife's much younger than him. Of course it would in this show. But surprisingly, this really awkward scene happens, and he covers it up instead. And I'm thinking, good. Finally, something that's not weird. And then they show you that it's not just the idols that are fucking weird, it's also the production staff and all those people. All they're thinking about is how hot these girls are that they're filming are. That they can't wait to take them out on dates and stuff like that. I'm keeping it PG-13 just for YouTube. And these idols are on TV, and the kids are watching, even though they're little babies, and the adult's actually sleeping. And she must be fucking tired, because I can imagine this TV is super loud, and she's just snoring while these kids are cheering their mom on. And if you didn't know, not only was the boy reincarnated, so was the girl. So the hooded man who murdered the doctor is also watching Ai dance. He's saying stuff like, shit, why'd you lie to me, bitch? I don't know why you fucking got pregnant. And that's what I imagine guys in dark rooms talking to themselves sound like. So then it becomes a really strange scene where she has to breastfeed the kids because they're kids and she doesn't have formula. And to be honest, I thought he was just going to do it. He's going to have some milk. But no, he decides to say, no, I would rather have formula. But the girl says, yeah, I love milk. And then he asks, were you a guy in the last universe? And she says, no. And I'm thinking, I don't believe you. But she does end up being a girl at the end. Which I don't think still makes it right. Because I don't care what you are. If you're a creep, being reincarnated and doing that, well, that's fucked up. But I don't know what's more fucked up, that or that this lady just married that old guy because she wanted to meet hot young guys in the studio. And she's frustrated because she's taking care of a 16-year-old's 2 kids and she's thinking, I don't fucking want to do this. She's so fucked up in the head that she says, alright, so this is not working, this marriage. So instead, I'm going to take pictures of her shit and post them online so I get really popular and famous and then I can meet really fucking hot guys. And so these 2 babies are intimidating her, saying that they are gods and that they know how evil she is being. And if she does anything bad, she will be punished. If she thinks that's real and that God is talking to these babies, then sure. But if she's already an evil person, she should just grab these kids, put them in a room and lock them up and take all that shit and run. So one of the dumb babies ends up telling her, if you respect what we're telling you, then you may end up with a handsome actor boyfriend. And then she gets really excited and starts doing everything around the house. And then in this anime, they tell you the reality of being a star in Japan. Well, basically you have so many people with their hands in the pot that you're barely getting any of the money. And it turns out to be it's because she's signed to a really small agency. And her idol group isn't that popular either. And then she finally becomes an adult when she figures out that the world revolves around money and that she wants to put her kids through college. And she doesn't have to make much more than that to put them in college. And plus, I don't know how she's still 16 if months have gone by. And if I'm just speculating and stuff like that, well, I wonder how she lost all that baby fat. She must have had a lot of good trainers and a lot of people taking care of the kids. So Ai's gonna go perform and she wants the kids to stay at home. But the babies convince their babysitter to take them to the live concert. And when they're there, they're supposed to be quiet. They're not supposed to draw any attention. So when the live performance starts, she starts thinking about all the stuff that the rude people in her comment section told her about. And she tries to perfect her style, her smile, or the way she dances, everything. It's calculated. And you can tell she's dying inside. But then out of nowhere, the babies that are supposed to be quiet are quiet. But their glow stick game is on a higher level than everyone else's. Everyone sees them. And instead of getting mad, I just says, wow, I raised really cute kids. And so the babysitter recorded this and then she posted it and she got 2 million likes on social media. And now she's really happy, but then her husband's like, we need to talk. And so months go by and the babies are now kids. And she's pretty stupid because she can't tell that the kids shouldn't be speaking on that level yet, but they're really smart. They're obviously adults. But the positive thing is now she's booking roles on movies and TV shows. She's going to more radio stations and having interviews. She's making much more money, so that's really good. So she goes on this drama that she's not a really popular character. She's just a little part in it. And so the babysitter tells them, hey, we're bringing you along, but you have to be quiet. And what do they do? Of course, nothing but loud. So the director and the boy end up becoming friends because they both care about this movie. He wants to see his mom succeed, and the director wants to see his movie get popular. After a while, it's on TV, and now they're seeing this thing happen, and it turns out to be that a bunch of her parts were cut, and she's only in one scene. And so the boy is so mad that he calls the director up, and I don't know why they exchange numbers if that's a little kid, but just for comedy's sake, I guess. And then he tells him, why the fuck did you take all those scenes away? And he's saying because a lot of people think that the main girl is actually really attractive, but if they put another girl who's very attractive, it's going to take away her qualities. And so they had to cut her scenes out. And he proceeds to explain to him all the stuff that it takes to make a movie and all the stuff that has to go into the movie and all that shit. And then the producer says, I can give your mom an audition, but you have to be in the movie as well. So he shows up on set for recording, and then he figures out that there's a girl who's always been acting. She's really popular, and she has a really big personality. She treats adults like shit, and she doesn't really care for them. She thinks she's this big actress who's rules the world. So they're in this movie about an actress who goes into a small village across a mountain just to get plastic surgery so no one knows. And when she comes back through the mountain, there's scary ghosts, and that's where the 2 kids are supposed to be. And the girl was good, but the boy just added a flair to it because he's already creepy to begin with. And the director helped him with improvising a scene that wasn't in the script, which was kind of cheating, but it had to be done just to make this girl feel bad about herself, so she's not thinking she's the biggest actress in the world. But then she goes to the director and says, please, let's do it again, let's take another shot, because that guy was better than me, and that can't happen. And she starts crying so much that they have to pull her off stage and take her back to the house because they can't deal with her. So from that day on, all he does is eat, sleep, and read books, because he's probably just going to become an actor. And he can't be the only one, right? The only talented little boy. The girl is also talented at maybe acting, but for sure dancing. And she might even be like her mom one day. So Ai overhears the kids wanting to meet their dad. And so she ends up calling the dad so us as viewers can finally see who this is. So everyone's celebrating because the drama that Ai's in is really popular and it's growing faster than any TV show you could ever think of. So they're going to perform at the Dome, which money can't get you in, and no matter what type of skills you have, unless you become a really big star in some show, song, anything like that, they might let you in. But until then, they only choose the best of the best. And then somehow her manager says that you shouldn't contact the father at all, even though you're excited. And she says, okay. But inside she's like, no, I already called him. And then we figure out about Ai's background, and her mom was the one to raise her, and there was no dad in the picture. And then her mom got arrested for theft. And then she was put into an adoption center. And then she says, I have never loved and haven't ever been loved. And that's why I'm fucked up. And that's why she became an idol, because she wanted to be loved. But she hasn't even said I love you to her kids, because she's scared that if she were to say it and not feel it, that would destroy her. And so one random day, they're just sitting on the couch watching a television show, and then there's a doorbell. And she says, is that the president? I've been waiting for him. And she goes over there, and some weird guy with the hood. And he has a big bouquet of flowers, and they're all white for dramatic effect. I want to give you these for being accepted to the dome, and they have twins. And out of nowhere, there's color in the flowers, and it's out of her blood. He just stabbed her. There's no way one stab is going to lead to that much blood. You don't have that much blood in one wound. And the hooded guy says, I felt worse. When you got married, when you had kids, I hurt way more than that, you fucking whore. You say you loved us on stage, but when you get out of there, you forget who we are. She proves to him by knowing his name that she loved all her fans and that she was really supportive of them all. And he says, no, that can't be. I stabbed you for no reason. No! And he runs away and drops the knife just for the police to end up getting him later. And so I'm sitting there hoping that she does not die. And they call an ambulance and everything, and she tries to block the door for the other girl to see her. Tells him that he should become an actor because that would make him happy and do what you love. So she already knows she's gonna die, and she says she really wished she could see their kids growing up, having the backpacks on and having the first relationships, all that stuff, and that would have made her happy. But it's okay. Things just happen that don't make sense, and this is one of them. And she finally says, Aqua, Ruby, I love you. And that made her really happy because she finally was able to give her love to someone. The day after she passes away, the news reports that she's dead and everyone goes into a shock. And then the doctor puts it together that the person that killed him and the person that killed Ai is the same person, and he needs to go fucking find them. And then their babysitter asks them, will you allow me to become your guardians? It would mean a lot to me. And they say, sure. And there's so many questions that everyone has, like how did that hooded man find where Ai's new house was? And how did they figure out where the hospital is? And the question that some of us are asking is, if she called the husband, where is he? And also, if you didn't know, Ruby is the girl that died at the beginning with the doctor, and she was reincarnated into his body. So now it's the doctor and the girl who he liked. And Aqua asked the director, will you raise me to become a better actor? And he's shocked because you'd love to, right? And Ruby's supposed to become an idol, just like her mom. So later, years pass, and now they're going to high school. And they look very different. And his plan, what's the main character's objective? To get revenge on this guy. Where are you? No, seriously, where are you guys? Hit that subscribe button if you actually watched the whole video, and let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, peace.